rains, when it rains, when it rains, when it rains, when it rains. Thank you.
Well, I think one of the reasons I'm here anyway is because of last summer. We were at this festival, the Falcon Ridge Folk Festival. Legendary folk festival. It's been going on since the mid-'80s, I believe, out there on the East Coast, north of New York City. Up there, it's just on the western edge of the Berkshires, and it's near the Hudson River, lovely locale. And at any rate, well, this song I'm about to play, this is kind of strange, you know. It all seems like about 5 years, but I've been in the house band for the Falcon Ridge Folk Festival since 1997. That's a long time. And I've played it every year, and I just don't think anything of it. And I just show up and play, and it's different. But at any rate, they got ambitious one year, and they decided to try to do 2 festivals, but keep the same house band. So I was a busy guy. And the other festival was a bluegrass festival. And it was a pretty major league bluegrass in kind of Texas. It was great. And then, and I proceeded to the root immediately. and the root being, after all that bluegrass in my head, I couldn't get it out of my head. The only way I could get it out of my head was to kind of come up with this tune. Wheels of steel, blades of grass, way I feel, you ain't coming back. All the UP boys are working on 100 miles of track. By this time tomorrow morning, there'd be no turning back. Wheels of steel, blades of grass, way I feel, you ain't coming back. The sun shines cool and frosty by the 2 converging tracks. I hear a distant rumbling, a sweat's beating down my back. Wheels of steel, blades of grass, way I feel, you ain't coming back. As the train hits Central City, It was swaying side to side. Oh, the girls there sure are pretty. But now there's just one last round to ride. Wheels of steel, blades of grass, way I feel. You ain't coming back.
Can't follow that. Give
Just
me.
wait till the next one. I'm gonna totally mess it up.
Can you just do something mediocre next? I mean,
I can't do mediocre. It's either got to be kind of hot or terrible.
Oh man, I gotta be honest with you. I feel like the luckiest person in the whole wide world to be doing shows with Rad. The first time I heard him play was with Sean Mullins, who is like one of the reasons that I do this. And so, like, I don't know, it's just kind of, get to play with Rad. All right, so this is my favorite song off my new record. My family's been in Massachusetts since, like, approximately 1620. And and the house where my grandpa grew up, it's ancient and has been abandoned since 1954 when my great-grandmother died. And it's all boarded up, and I have to drive by this thing every day, and it's the biggest tease because I am a nerd, and all I care about is ancestry and history. And, like, I know that there's treasures inside this house. And, like, so many times I almost broke in, but I'm like, no, I'm not a criminal. And so then one day I went by, and, like, some actual criminal had broken in, and I didn't know if they were still in there. I didn't know jack, except that door was open, and I was going in. And I went inside, and it's like the first thing I see is an ancient bottle of Pine Sol upon the fireplace, you know, and I'm like, oh, Grandma cleaned. And then the family Bible's over here, and like doodads from the funeral of Ulysses S. Grant over here. And then my great-grandmother's piano was in the corner. She played for silent movies, and it still played. And I was like, wow, this is poetry. I'm like standing in poetry. And so whenever I introduce this song, I give you that whole long spiel, and then I'm like, and you know, it's just like weird to me that the things were meant to last, you know, because you got one if you were lucky, and people were expected to be just as sturdy as the things, which doesn't quite work because I don't know about y'all, but like I thrive when everybody knows exactly how I'm feeling, which is usually complaining. It wouldn't have worked out for me before mental health existed. And but there was a write-up about this song, and I did that whole like 20-minute long spiel about what this song is about, and the journalist said, so do you mean the song is just about what it is to be human? And I said, yes. One sentence. My great-grandma's chair is still standing, dusty thing but proud. Her piano strings still singing out of tune but loud. 100 years living once more. Maybe modern hearts aren't meant to last. We just hold on till we're past the pain it brings. And we're all just broken things. Ooh. That's my grandpa's old jalopy. You still can't turn it on. Out the door and down the road, can't stop us once we're gone. 100 years living, and it still wants more. Maybe modern hearts aren't meant to last. We just hold on till we're past the pain it brings. Yeah, we're all just broken things. Ooh. Thought I was tough wearing an old punk rock t-shirt. Thought I was tough till I knew what it meant to hurt. My granddad stood there stoic as a wall. I wonder if he felt pain at all. Well, of course he did. He was just a little kid back when we don't talk about it. Ooh. This old house has seen its share of hearts broke on the floor. It will be here after I'm gone, opening its doors. Maybe modern hearts aren't meant to last. We just hold on till we're past the pain it brings. Yeah, we're all just broken things. Ooh. Thank you.
Sweet. Well, let's take it. You know, we are not that far from my beloved Mississippi River. I wound up, before I got to hang out with exquisite performers such as Grace Morrison, you know, I spent a lot of time playing the little bars along the Mississippi River. And it wasn't like anything organized. It's just like I wound up playing all the bars, literally, between pretty much St. Paul all the way down to Keokuk, Iowa, you know, and I pretty much played, I think I played every single bar on the river. Some of the bars, I will have you know, are in trees. True story. I think I maybe played a little bit. I think I maybe was on a boat and having a drink at this bar. There was a bar in a tree on an island in the middle of the river. It's the weirdest bar you've ever seen. You go in there, and you know, and I was kind of a young dude. I was like kind of hippie-ish, like I still am somewhat, but I was like young. I come in there with my buddy, and he's got a boat, and I have to play a show that night. But of course, we are going to a bar in a tree, you know, in the middle of the afternoon on a boat with the sun beating on us. Not a great idea. But at any rate, there we are in there, and it's the last thing you could expect. It was like an elderly crowd. and they were all in there, and it was all like, it was kind of like stepping into a Vegas casino or something. But it's on a tree in the middle of the Mississippi River. But at any rate, this is my buddy who's my hero, kind of a mentor songwriter, a guy named Joe Price, wrote this song, and he technically owns that whole stretch of the river, and I'm just an apprentice. Ain't nothing wrong, nothing's worrying me. Just sitting here in the shade of this willow tree. Goodbye. Goodbye, troubles, troubles go by. Mississippi River, so deep and wide. I'm sure glad I'm over here on this old side. Goodbye. Goodbye, troubles, troubles go by. Oh, give me a shot of that old nightlife. Sleep all day, play these blues all night. Goodbye. Oh, goodbye, trouble, trouble go by. Oh, give me a shot of that old nightlife. Sleep all day, play these blues all night. Goodbye. Oh, goodbye, trouble, trouble, goodbye. Sun may shine and it may snow, the crescent moon and the north wind blow. Goodbye. Oh, goodbye, trouble, trouble, goodbye. I've been around the world, I just got home today, and everywhere all the people did say goodbye. Oh, goodbye, trouble, trouble, goodbye. Oh, goodbye, trouble, trouble, goodbye. When you're up in that treetop bar in the Mississippi River drinking a gin and tonic with some brand new friends you just met, get back down that ladder, better get on the boat. You gotta go to the bar and play 4 hours in a bar and sing all night and say goodbye. Trouble. Trouble. Goodbye.
I feel like what I'd like to do is retrieve a martini and listen to you.
That is the best idea I've heard all day.
Oh, golly. Well, I've been spending a lot of time in Nashville co-writing, which is a thing. And there are like etiquette rules to this that nobody tells you. You just kind of have to know them. And the number one rule is that if you're going to go write with a hit writer, you must show up with the idea. The idea is the hard part. And I had this write scheduled with this wonderful man who wrote a lot of George Strait. He had a lot of George Strait cuts. Any George Strait fans? He wrote, golly, I can't think of it right now because I said I was going to sing it. Now I can't think of it. But anyway, he had some George Strait cuts. And so I'm heading that way, and I'm in the plane, and I'm like, I need an idea. And I got no ideas. And then I had 5 coffees, and I still had no ideas. And then I'm driving to his house, and I'm 1 minute away from this man's house. And I was like, I know what the idea is. Do you know when I've had the worst ideas? When I'm drinking wine. So I was like, okay, the idea is we're going to write a song called Wine Decisions because they're never good. And that's what we wrote. Hold on, wait. That's a little muffled. There we go. Sometimes I'm sturdy. Sometimes I'm strong. Sometimes I worry when a day gets too long. Sometimes I'm broken, and sometimes I'm blue, and that's when I go out, hoping the bottle will get me through. And he's been looking at me from across the bar. I'm seeing myself getting in his car at 2 a.m. His hand is on my knee. He turns the key, unlocks the door, 2 steps in, dress on the floor. I know this isn't where I ought to be. Here I am wishing I didn't make those wine decisions. My daddy told me to keep myself clean. Any dirt on my soul would be the death of me. And when I remember all the wrong that I've done, I wanna wash it away. Bartender, pour me another one. Oh, he's been looking at me from across the bar. I'm seeing myself getting in his car at 2 a.m. His hand is on my knee. He turns the key, unlocks the door, 2 steps in, dress on the floor. I know this isn't where I ought to be. Here I turns the key, unlocks the door. 2 steps in, dress on the floor. I know this isn't where I ought to be. And here I am wishing that I didn't make those wine decisions. Thank you.
Man, that's fantastic. God dang. Oh man, I think that's gonna be a big hit. I don't know. That's awesome. That's really good. Okay. Well, I believe it or not, I wasn't really intended to be a person to hang out in treetop bars in the Mississippi. my parents had hopes. And my grandparents had hopes, and my grandmother was one of the prominent classical pianists of her time. She was the premier pianist of the country of Yugoslavia for 3 decades, from the 40s through the 70s, late 40s through the 70s. And she's a very, very powerful, very kind of intimidating woman, And I showed up at her house once, coming fresh from America, and first thing I did, I got on her Steinway and I started playing some blues. And she goes, "No, that's not how it's done." And then I happened to know a Bach 2-part invention, and she goes, "Yes, Radoslav, that's much better." Yeah. And that was okay, and then we got along, and she treated me to some nice food, and she actually took me to Venice. But at any rate, I've always been trying to kind of, like this gulf between the strictly classical Eastern European musicians that I arose from, and this upbringing I had on treetop bars in Mississippi River near Iowa, and this is my best. I'm trying to reconcile the two, and this is a piece I call "The Blues" in C minor. Blues in C minor, folks. So we got time for one more, you think, or for what's our break?
Can we do one or two more? You
Do one. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I grew up going to a Nazarene church. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's a relatively conservative branch, but I love the hymns. And so, since we're in a church, I thought I'll do a church song. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. I worked hard all my lifetime, no help from my friends. So Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? Oh Lord, won't you buy me a color TV? Dialing for dollars, it's trying to find me. I'll wait for delivery, staying until 3. So Lord, won't you buy me a color TV, Maestro? Oh Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town? I'm counting on you, Lord. Please don't let me down. Won't you prove you love me and buy me the next round? Oh Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town? One more. Everybody, oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. I worked hard all my lifetime. No help from my friends. So Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz?
Wow.
I'm still kind of shell-shocked. That's a church song? Okay. I do love that song, so I'm sorry. So anyway, we're going to take a short break. Now, I want to point out if they've got CDs on the counter, there's both Grace and Rad, and the ladies behind the counter would be more than happy to sell those to you. Now, do you guys do a square or a? Yes. Okay. So if you need to do a credit card or a debit card, see Grace. Or Rad.
Maybe Grace. She's faster. I can do it, but I'm really slow.
Yeah. Oh, also I wanted to point out, this is the first time for the season that I've got to wear my Two-Way Street T-shirt without something underneath. It's finally getting some warm weather, and if anybody's interested in one of these, they come in this red color. They also come in gray, and you will see Miss Jennifer, who's all the way in the back of the room over there, who'd be happy to help you out. So with that, let's take a little break. Hello. 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 We're going to try and get started here. There's no line for the washroom, so that's always my clue. Or if somebody's buying merch. I never stop the merch sales. So anyway, we are ready to start our second set next Friday, the 21st of April. We have Mustard's Retreat. They have played here a number of times. They are really good, really good. Tomorrow there's a community sing-along in this room from 2 to 4. You can sing. You can bring an instrument. You can listen. You can just show up and have fun. Okay. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock in what's referred to as the big room down the hall. So if you went to the washroom, you go to the end and make a right. There's a barn dance. There's a string band, a caller. You don't need to know how to dance. You don't need a costume. You don't need a partner. You just show up and have a good time. So, yeah. And then, most importantly, this coming Sunday, 2 of our very own here will be performing at the Woodridge Library. I believe that's 2 o'clock. Oh, good. Those who don't know, my notes just say J&J, which means Jennifer and Joel, also known as Ashley and Simpson. I used to just call him Ashley Simpson, and I'd get yelled at. So it's now Ashley and Simpson, 2 o'clock, the Woodridge Library. I think that's a free event, right? It is. They're going to do a little mixed bag, some Johnny Cash, some classic country. Thank you. Oh, I didn't realize this was going to be the big deal. All right, well, check maybe before you show up. You better ask the Woodridge Library if there's a spot for you. So, yeah. So on that happy note, Rad, are you ready to go? Yeah. Okay. Grace, are you ready to go? Get my big, deep announcer voice going. All right, take it away, guys.
All right. Okay, that's me. Okay, that's me. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Here goes nothing. I say this is kind of a new one. In my New Orleans, the one the hillbilly built, it stands true still through time. The water rich and deep, with river mud and silt, and it flows true on down the line. In 1962, I first lay eyes on you, a Frenchman, oh so fine. I'd come from Baton Rouge with little subterfuge, just this pure, pure heart of mine. So mon petit dauphin, ne pleurez pas pour maman. Le royaume vit dans ton cœur pur. Les jeunes filles et grandes dames et les beaux Africains ont fait le nouveau monde en fleurs. touch my cocoa skin, so shiny and so thin, yet crave me just like Bordeaux wine. The curve of our blue earth you felt beneath my skirt, and we fell back into the divine. These children, yours and mine, they play the second line, shining still and true through time. They know that royal blood mixed with river mud is the song that soothes our hearts. So mon petit dauphin, ne pleurez pas pour maman. Le royaume vit dans ton cœur pur. Les jeunes filles et grandes dames et les beaux Africains ont fait le nouveau monde un fleur. Mon petit dauphin, ne pleurez pas pour maman. Le royaume vit dans ton cœur pur. Les jeunes filles et grandes dames et les beaux Africains ont fait le nouveau monde un fleur.
Quelle chanson, maestro.
Merci, merci, merci.
Well, I'm going to sing a song about my home, which is Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Woo. I didn't write this song, and I've got a bone to pick with whomever did, because there ain't no such thing as lobster stew. I've never heard a goddamn, I never heard a lobster stew in my potty mouth. Chowder, yes. Bisque, yes. But lobster stew, have any of you ever consumed lobster stew? That's because it doesn't exist. If you're fond of sand dunes and salty air, quaint little villages here and there, you're sure to fall in love with old Cape Cod. If you like the taste of a lobster stew served by a window with an ocean view, you're sure to fall in love with old Cape Cod. Winding roads that seem to beckon you, miles of green beneath the sky of blue, church bells chiming on a Sunday morn remind you of the town where you were born. you spend an evening you want to stay, watching the moon over Cape Cod Bay, you're sure to fall in love with old Cape Cod. Winding roads that seem to beckon you, miles of green beneath the sky of blue, church bells chiming on a Sunday morn remind you of the town where you were born. If you spend an evening you'll want to stay, watching the moon over Cape Cod Bay, you're sure to fall in love with old Cape Cod, with old Cape Cod. Merci.
God dang, I want to go to a clam bake right now. That is fantastic. Well, now that we're on Cape Cod, let's keep going. Let's just keep going. And let's go to our Cape Cod, our Croatian Cape Cod, which is the Dalmatian coast, the beautiful Dalmatian coast. And Dubrovnik. I just figure I'd let you guys know I do this thing. I take folks on luxury yacht cruises of the Adriatic. I've done it. We're going out on our third one, and it's a thing we do. And it's magic. And it's 38 people on a boat. We own the whole boat. And I play music all day and after everybody eats all night, and I play, and we cruise, and we swim, and it's really cool. But the reason I'm telling you this is I was ordered to learn a song in one of the stops, and one of the stops is the beautiful town of Vela Luka, which is the second city in Korčula. Korčula is an island between Dubrovnik and Split. And the main Korčula is Fantasyland, beautiful castle, spectacular, and this is like the secondary city, but it's also the home of a very prominent Croatian songwriter named Oliver Dragujevic, and he wrote this song called Vela Luka. Kad ću opet doć, da te vidim ja, kad ću opet doć, da te ljubim ja. Kad sad vidim što mi znači Vela Luka, more ti, uspomene će mi samo ostati. Zamrkim te i žale, za nas ošjaki vale. Vela Luka, mala, ne zaboravi. Doću opet, draga, budi sa mnom sretna ti. Znaj ti da će naša prošlja ljubav
čekati kad sad vidim modro more i zelene borove, zakantaću ovu pismu za tebe. Zamrkinte i vale, za nas ošjak i žale, vela luka mala ne zaboravi. Velu luku mala ne zaboravi.
Thank you so much. Vela Luca.
I propose we all go on this cruise. Well, do we have some married people here? Give yourselves a married people. We deserve a hand. We're married. That counts. That counts. Because this song is all about, it's all about you have to choose every day to make it work. And I went into a co-write with a friend of mine, Jackson Emmer, and he said, I got this idea, and it's you have to put the ring on every day. And that is what we wrote. Put the ring on every day. A promise kept, a promise made. Stood in front of everyone, so innocent when we begun. Now look how far we've come. Half the bills are overdue. Drowning here in debt with you. Some days we're treading endlessly. I'm so glad it's you with me. We put the ring on every day. Some days we're boxers in the ring. Some days you're Swayze dirty dancing. Some days life leaves you on the floor. Some days you're begging me for more. It gets easier, they say. It doesn't always feel that way. You put the ring on every day. A special date for groceries. Milk and apples, bread and cheese. And as we're standing in the line, it's always you catching my eye, and you don't even have to try. I'll put the ring on every day. I can't help but wonder where I'd be if I'd let you get away. Driving down the highway till the darkness comes, singing to myself just to hear someone say it'll be okay. Some days we're boxers in the ring. Some days you're Swayze dirty dancing. Some days life leaves you on the floor. Some days you're begging me for more. It gets easier, they say. It doesn't always feel that way. You put the ring on every day. And when my hips don't work no more, and there's a shoehorn by the door, my knuckles scream and swell and sing. Pull the band off with a string. You're still my more than everything, and I'll find a different way to put the ring on every day. Thank you. I liked that. That was cool.
That little thing. Yeah. I learned that lick from Charlie Rich. Well, I think I'm going to ask for some crowd participation. You guys up for it? Okay, there's no requirements here. There's no words. It's just utterances, and they're quite primal and guttural, and you'll know exactly what to do. And this is a song by, we just recently lost him. He's a very long-living genius piano player from New Orleans, the great Huey Piano Smith. A little song here. I get high, blood pressure when you call my name. I get high, oh blood pressure, baby, when you call my name. I get high, blood pressure when you call my name. I get high, oh blood pressure when you call my name. Baby, baby, can't we be fooling? Don't you just know it? Well, you got me rocking and you ought to be rolling. Don't you just know it? Ha, 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 ha. Hey, hey, oh. Ooba, gooba, gooba, gooba. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Hey, hey, oh. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ooba, gooba, gooba, gooba. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Hey, hey, oh. I get high, blood pressure when you speak to me. I get high, blood pressure, baby, when I can barely see. I get high, blood pressure when you call my name, yeah. I get high, blood pressure when you call my name, yeah.
I get high. Blood pressure when you call my name, yeah. I get high. Blood pressure, baby, when you call my name. I get high. Blood pressure when you call my name, yeah. I get high, 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 high blood pressure when you call my name. Now when you call my name. Now when you call my name. Oh, thanks. I got to tell you a quick little tale about that. I was playing this song of all places. It was in Rochester, Minnesota, famous for the Mayo Clinic, you know. And it was pretty much attended strictly by physicians from the Mayo Clinic. These are seriously intelligent people. They're the finest physicians in the world. And they're at this event, and I'm playing, and this lady comes up to me, the smartest of all the physicians. She comes up to me and she goes, "Oh, are you going to play that song? Are you going to play the song about hypertension?"
How do you feel about retrieving the potty box?
Potty box. I believe it's time.
I think the time has indeed come.
The time has indeed
yes,
come.
let's approach it. This is going to be a sing-along if you know it situation. I always feel like I should preface anytime I'm performing and let the audience know that I once worked at a Renaissance fair, and that's the level of nerditude that you're dealing with. I love me a bagpipe. If you can make it sound like a bagpipe on this, you know, I feel like he can do anything. Are you kidding me? So, I'm gonna do this traditional Scottish tune because it reminds me of my dad. My dad passed away in 2016, and all he ever wanted was for his daughter to play the blues. And so I didn't like the blues. And I said, "Dad, nobody likes the blues," and I refused to do it. And then after he passed away, I was like, I should maybe sing him a blues. Nah, I'll sing him a folk song. But my dad, at the end, I was on the road, and they said, you gotta come home. He's not gonna last much longer. And I got home, and he was in a coma, and I did what you do. You just park your ass next to him and wait. And cry, that's what I did. And he hadn't spoken in at least a week. And I was just sitting there weeping, and all of a sudden, I kid you not, he opened his eyes and looked at me and said, "Cut the shit." And that's the last thing my daddy ever said to me. What a gift! And I get to pass that on to my son, and he can pass that on to his. And now you can share that with your loved ones. And I've always wanted to immortalize that in a song. I don't know that title is the right one for me as an artist, but I feel like the sentiment of this song is what he intended, and so that is why I will be singing this one for my dad. By yon bonny banks and by yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love wherever want to go, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. You take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland before ye. But me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. 'Twas there that we parted by yon shady glen, on a steep, steep side of Bellarmine, wearing purple hue, the Highland Hills with you, and the moon shining out through the gloaming. You take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland before you. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Oh, the rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with the words I love you rolling off my tongue. Oh, never will I roam, for I know my place is home, where the ocean meets the sky. I'll be sailing. You take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland before you. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. And that is the party box.
Well, since they got it going, I might as well keep it going here. This is, my little treetop bar in the Mississippi, in the upper Mississippi. This is another song by my pal Joe Price. And this one is, he actually, people write railroad songs, they write train songs, and I love train songs, I love railroad songs. Excuse me. He must not be wanting me telling the story. But he actually worked on the railroad, and it's a railroad you guys are all familiar with, and it's called the Chicago Northwestern Line. 3 miles ahead, 2 miles back, miles and miles of railroad track. We are working on Chicago Northwestern Line. Look at Sammy, look at Jack, pounding spikes and lining track. They are working on Chicago Northwestern Line. Walking east with the wind at our back, up and down this railroad track. C&W is right on time, rolling by at 9:30, yeah. Big wheels here, big wheels there. They don't worry, 'cause they don't care. And they're working on Chicago Northwestern Line. walking east with the wind at her back, up and down this railroad track. C&W is right on time, rolling by at 9:30, yeah. Big wheels here, big wheels there. They don't worry, they don't care. They are rolling down Chicago Northwestern line. And we are rolling down Chicago Northwestern line. And we are working on Chicago Northwestern line. Oh, let's get going, boys. Here come the train right on. That's right out there.
I've just addressed the clock. Is this like 2 more songs time?
I think so.
That's where we're at. So you need that again.
Gotta have it. Yeah,
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't a party without the box. Okay. Well, I appreciate, when I said that I'm from Cape Cod, not one of you asked me which town, because the thing is that I'm not technically from Cape Cod. I'm from the town right before Cape Cod. And I can't, this is maybe the first performance I've had on the road where someone didn't say, Wareham, that's not Cape Cod. It's a constant battle. But we're right next to it. We're adjacent. And we don't have lobster stew, so. Oh, man. But I wrote this song. We had driven, my husband and our 4-year-old and I had driven in our electric car to New Mexico from Massachusetts. And we were heading home. And it's one thing to be driving out when you have things to do, but when all you're trying to do is go home and you're in West Texas, it's endless, man. Y'all ever driven in West Texas? Is anyone from West Texas? I don't want to offend. Because you don't actually need to go if you've never been. It's, so we had been driving for what felt like forever, and I was a little car sick, and this particular piece of Texas, like many others, is just long, straight nothing with those oil thingies that look like they belong in Star Wars, and all you smell is oil, so I'm car sick, and all I could smell is oil, and I was like, I need to feel like there's some health in me. The next thing I eat's gonna be a salad. And I waited the 3 hours of driving through this till the first restaurant was seen, and it was a DQ Grill and Chill. And they had a salad on the menu, and I ordered it, and they laughed at me and handed me one of those little paper things you might get French fries in at a fried clam stand with some sandwich lettuce in it. And it was that moment that I said, I love Massachusetts. And that's what this song is. I'm on my way, Massachusetts. I still got 3,000 miles ahead. The desert's singing sweetly, but the truth is, there's no other place I wanna rest my head. You caught my eye, Carolina. You're tempting me, Tennessee. But when I think about skipping stones and winding roads that lead you home, there's one place I see. So I'm on my way, Massachusetts. Can almost feel my feet at the water's edge. I try to quell the homesick, but it's useless. The summer heat, the sandy feet there in my bed. You caught my eye, Carolina. You're tempting me, Tennessee. But when I think about autumn's turn, the way the leaves there start to burn, there's one place for me, Maestro. You caught my eye, Carolina. You're tempting me, Tennessee. But when I think about what it would cost, the magic of the winter lost, there's one place for me. So I'm on my way, Massachusetts. My soul's made up of your history. I know you like to claim the founding fathers, but how about mermaid tales, big old whales, and piracy? Cobblestones, colonial homes, land of the free. Love or hate her, she's the state I'll never leave. Man, Radoslav Lorkovic.
Well, this is that. You got one more? You got one more? Okay. Well, this song here. I didn't always get calls from the East Coast to jump on incredible tours with people like the lovely Grace here. I was in that treetop bar, and in my truck, and I had I didn't have cell phones back then, and I got a call once on a real telephone landline, and went ding 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 ding, and I pick up the phone and I go, "Hey, can you do this gig?" I go, "Yeah, sure. Where's it at?" "Well, it's kind of far. It's all the way down in southern Illinois." I went, "Man, that's far. I better get some tires on my truck. I got to get this together." And I went all the way down there. Start driving down there. I went from Iowa down past St. Louis, across the river. I thought, man, it's different down here. This is really different. I'm in the deep South. This is the South, man. This is the South of William Faulkner, man. This is light in August, man. This is like, oh my God, I have arrived. This is it. This is the place I've been singing about and fantasizing about. And just then this rickety tractor with a whole giant stack of watermelons. I don't know how it stayed on, possibly come over the hill. I'm like, hallelujah. And I wrote this song. Brown, shiny Lincoln at a four-way stop. Driving my car, carrying all that I got my foot to the floor, got my windows rolled down. I ain't gonna stop till I hit Memphis town. I'm heading south on a 2-lane road, I'm heading south. Think I'm losing control, I'm heading south. Before I get old, I'm heading south. I just might never go home, heading south. Baby, you and me are heading south. Like a river to the sea, I'm heading south. Can't turn around, no, till I hit Memphis town. Well, I'm tired of cold weather, I'm tired of cold stares, I'm tired of monotone voices with nothing to say. I'm tired of motion, I'm tired of fast pace, I'm tired of jerking around without a rhythm or grace. Heading south on a 2-lane road, heading south. Think I'm losing control, I'm heading south. Before I get old, I'm heading south. I just might never go home, I'm heading south. Baby, you and me, I'm heading south. Like a river to the sea, I'm heading south. I can't turn around, no, till I hit Memphis town. Well, I've been to both coasts, I've been to Italy, and I've traveled 3 continents with regularity. Everyone that I go, everywhere that I meet, it could be doctors or lawyers or just the people on the street. I hear in their voice that unmistakable sound, and it called me back time after time, heading south on a 2-lane road, heading south. Think I'm losing control, I'm heading south. Before I get old, I'm heading south. I just might never go home, heading south. Baby, you and me are heading south. Like a river to the sea, I'm heading south. Can't turn around, no, till I hit Memphis town.
Okay. Now has everybody got their boogie woogie on? Yikes. This guy can play just a little bit, don't you think? It's like, oh man, oh man, oh man. But next week we have Mustard's Retreat right on the stage. They're from Michigan. They'll be down here doing their thing. We're here every Friday night, so when in doubt, just show up. Back in the day before the internet, people would walk in and say, "Who's playing tonight?" and had no clue, but they came anyway. But there's a long-standing tradition here. I got the big deep voice going again. There's a long-standing tradition in this coffee house that no one gets out of here without an encore. So just by chance, do you think you have one more?
You.
Yeah, we got one.
Yeah.
Oh, good. It's always embarrassing when they go, nope, got nothing.
No, that's it.
That's the catalog. All right. Well, my dad wanted me to sing the blues, so I will. Mr. Backlash, Mr. Backlash. Who do you think I am? You raise my taxes and freeze my wages. Send my son to Vietnam. You give me second-class houses and second-class schools. Do you think we're all just second-class fools, Mr. Backlash? I'm gonna leave you with the blues. Tried to find a job to earn me a little cash, but all you got to offer me is your mean old backlash. But the world is big, big and wide and round, and it's full of other folks like me who are black, yellow, beige, and brown. Mr. Backlash, I'm gonna leave you with the blues. Take it again. Oh, Mr. Backlash, Mr. Backlash, Mr. Backlash. Who do you think I am? You raise my taxes and freeze my wages. Send my son to Vietnam. You give me second-class houses and second-class schools. Do you think we're all just second-class fools, Mr. Backlash? I'm gonna leave you with the blues. Radoslav Lorkovic, everybody.